Hey, good morning, everybody. We are live this morning. I'm with John Walker, Music City Roots. I'm so excited this morning. I loved Music City Roots when you had your show in Franklin at the factory. We were just talking about this. One of my favorite things.
Well, thanks, Donna. Thanks for having me on. As I told you, we miss Franklin terribly. The folks at the factory and Ellie Chin at the chamber were so good to us, and we uh, we really miss everybody there. But we're looking forward to having them make the drive out to our new place.
Yeah, so you were telling me about that. I know you guys announced that before you left the factory that there's a new venue. Can you tell us more about the status of that?
So we're in the permitting phase of construction now. We're building a brand new barn venue from the ground up, state of the art. We're so excited about it. And it's really going to be quite beautiful and true to the brand, all reclaimed wood, and it's going to sound really great. And of course, we'll have all our video equipment set up permanently so that we can not only do Music City Roots with a little bit less effort once it's all set up, but we'll be able to curate other shows and private shows, and it's going to be a full service venue 7 days a week. So we're thrilled about that.
Now, where is that going to be located?
It's going to be in a new developing center in Madison called Amqui Station, and there's just a great. I won't tell you the long version of the story, but Amqui Station is an old 1910 built train station that was going to be torn down in 1979, and Johnny Cash bought it, moved it to his backyard, and when he passed, there were funds allocated to move it back near its original spot, and it's now a train museum.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
and they're curating a whole new neighborhood called Madison Station Boulevard, and it's going to be the new centerpiece of Madison. There's going to be a roundabout, and we're really excited that they made it possible for us to acquire this piece of land and kind of make Music City Roots the centerpiece of that development. And there's a lot of people don't know this, but there were a lot of stars back in the earlier Opry days when they moved down the road on Briley Parkway that lived in Madison, from Kitty Wells and Johnny Wright, and they're naming the park after Kitty and Johnny across the street, and just a ton of John Hartford, and just a ton of history there, Hank Snow. So we're really excited to shine a light on that in the way that we shine a light on all that great Americana music.
I love that. You were telling me that Music City Roots is doing its part in helping support the music community. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's really been tough. We have our show has emerging artists and legendary artists, but the large bulk of the people in our community are what we call the musical middle class, and they are working for a living every day. People don't really buy records so much anymore. You make your money by going out and touching people live, and maybe you can sell a little bit of merch and so forth. And so this has really had a tough effect on them. So we've been using the power of our social media reach to support all of our alums and what they do, and happy to see some great results with that. And we're actually planning a live virtual Music City Roots show for next week that we're super excited about, to support Music Cares, who of course in turn supports all those artists that I just talked about.
Yeah, the Music Cares has been amazing. I've been watching them. They've been doing so many things. They're still, they visit a lot of hospitals, but now they're doing it kind of like what we're doing remotely. So
Right.
those patients are still hearing music, which I love that they figured out how to do that.
Oh, it's so important. We've seen a real uptick in traffic on our YouTube channel, which was already pretty busy, because it's a comfort to people, and that's what I've always felt. Sometimes you feel like you're fiddlers on the Titanic, and you just keep on fiddling and bring comfort to a world that's it's just a new reality no one's ever seen before. So um, music is essential, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Can you tell us a little bit more about that virtual concert? Do you know any of the guests yet you can reveal for us?
Yeah, we've got John Oates of Hall & Oates fame, and
Okay.
we've got Sam Bush, the great Sam Bush. We've got Sierra Hull, and we've got Lily Mae, And there's someone else that I might be forgetting here. I'm going to have to look that up. I should have had that ready for you, but
Well, already that lineup sounds pretty incredible.
it's of course, Jim Lauderdale, our host, is going to additionally, in addition to his hosting duties and his opening song, he's going to do a set of his own as well. Sorry, Jim.
I love Jim. He's like,
granted.
I feel like you can't say Music City Roots without saying Jim Lauderdale, right?
No, I mean, it's hard to even think about Americana music without Jim, because he kind of defines what it's all about. You can't pin him into any genre. I mean, if it's bluegrass, if it's R&B, if it's straight ahead traditional country, if it's rock and roll, Jim is just like a chameleon. And the only thing we haven't quite figured out is that final jam, the Nashville jam at the end, where all the artists would come out on the stage together and do their final closing number. And Jim was instrumental in it was all spontaneous, and they kind of figured out what they were going to do through the course of the show. Maybe they'd print up some lyrics and they'd just get out there and go for it. And to see him kind of acting as a producer in his own right and pull that thing together, there was just some magic. I think for this show, what we're going to do is pull out a classic jam that we have in the archives and air that. But we're really working on figuring out how to do that in a virtual way, because it'd be so much fun, but we just don't want to air any train wrecks.
Yeah, I hear you.
We're moving to a train station. No train wrecks.
I also want to talk about quickly, people may not know, there's also the radio station, the Roots radio station. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Back in 2016, we partnered with WMOT, which is a public radio station owned by MTSU. And it's a 100,000 watt station, which is the strongest FM signal allowed by the FCC. The signal goes from Bowling Green to the Alabama border, all through Middle Tennessee. And our role in that partnership is to curate the programming list, and we also handle the underwriters and do the sales for folks that support the radio station. And it's a very expensive proposition. And they've really, in addition to supporting Music Cares and our fundraiser, we're also drawing people's attention to WMOT and their fundraising efforts, because there's only two ways that radio station gets revenue coming in. And they've got millions of dollars in revenue going out. And, one is from public support and donors, which they've got a nice, list of donors that have signed up to make monthly donations. But the other part to that is underwriting and businesses that, choose to support the programming. And like I was telling you earlier, 90% of those underwriters were concert venues, from the Ryman to the Skirmerhorn to all the concert promoters in town, and then clubs like Third and Lindsley and City Winery and the Basement East, which has other challenges of their own with the tornado. Right. So for WMOT's perspective, the underwriting money is pretty much dried up right now because everyone's shut down. So we're trying to draw awareness to that. We've managed to keep the radio station. Jesse Scott, our program director, is such a trooper, and we figured out how everyone can do their shows from home. Again, thank God for this modern technology, even though we're here today. But the radio station is continued on, and we just want to remind people to support that, because, like as we said, music is a balm right now. You can only watch the news so much without getting terribly depressed. So, just turn on some music and escape for a while.
Exactly. Well, I appreciate you coming on and talk to us a little bit today about Music City Roots. Can you tell everybody where they can go follow Music City Roots and keep up to date?
We're at musiccityroots.com, and there you can join our mailing list, which we only send out important messaging. We won't spam you. And the best way is really to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/musiccityroots. And there is just 10 years. We celebrated our 10th year in October, and there's just 10 years worth of archived content, and we're we're now in the process of going and pulling out some very rich interviews that we had never posted individually before. So there's a lot of good stuff there to watch. We might even put this interview up on.
Hey, I love it. Tell us real quick. I'm going to let everybody know Emmy Sunshine is coming on later this afternoon. I know she's been a part of Music City Roots. Tell us what you think about Emmy Sunshine.
You know, one of the proudest things about Music City Roots is when we discover these new treasures and then watch their careers grow. Emmy Sunshine, we were doing a fundraiser for Emmy Lou Harris's Wolfstock years ago at Fontanelle, which is not even there anymore. And you know, I hadn't heard of her before, and here's this little girl just up there wailing, and I thought, wow. But over the years, we've watched her grow up and mature, and she's been she's been on our show many times and on WMOT's programming and live performances, and we've just you know, had the chance to interview her over the years, and it's just amazing to watch how she's grown and matured. And you know, a lot of times these young little child prodigies, as they grow up, they kind of lose their relevance. And you know, it was just kind of a cute novelty that a young person could play and sing like that. But she's really matured into an adult. Her writing is you know, she writes about very serious themes, and she's a real artist, and we respect and love her very much. So please give her our love.
I will. I can't wait. I haven't seen her in a little while. So again, due to this type of thing, I'm going to be able to see her this afternoon. And I think she's going to play a couple songs for us. So
well, I'm going to tune in.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Everybody come back. 3 p.m. this afternoon. Emmy Sunshine. She's going to give us a little music. We're going to chat. And we got some other things coming up today, too. But thanks again, John. We will see you again soon.
Donna, I heard on the news today it's National High Five Day, so here you go.
Oh, high five! And see, we still kept our social distance.
Isn't that ironic?
All right, thanks. You guys come back at 3 p.m. Sunshine.
Bye-bye.
Bye.